So I've been asking all of our guests, the few of them that we've recorded.
Стоп. Можете местами поменяться? Или ближе ко мне?
Sounds. Звуки
Мгм. Нет, пишется.
Just shut this off.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody should have okay. What sounds like a very simple question.
Yeah.
What is a think tank?
What is a think tank? A think tank is basically a university without students. So what you have are people who generally are PhDs. They come from usually the government, and in a sense, a think tank serves as sort of a glorified waiting room for people who want to work in the next administration. So if you have a Republican administration in power, a lot of the Democratic appointees will find jobs at think tanks and wait in the hopes that a Democrat will win, and vice versa. They purport to do research and things of that nature, but really what it is a marketing tool for people who are aiming for high-level positions in the government.
And how powerful do you think they are?
How powerful? It depends. I mean, they're powerful in terms of they're powerful for people's careers. So if you get a job, say, at one of the top think tanks in the United States, and those are generally acknowledged to be the Brookings Institution, Carnegie Endowment, or CSIS, that is a powerful notch on your resume. How much power do they actually have in formulating policy is actually not that much. Once you work inside the government, I did a short stint at the State Department, no one really pays all that much attention to what they're doing. They're powerful in terms of shaping public opinion. They're powerful in helping to shape the editorial slant in newspapers. But in terms of actual policy, I think it's kind of vastly overrated.
So a lot of these people in think tanks, a good big part of their job, you talked about shaping public opinion, is being a pundit, going on TV and talking about why America should or shouldn't do something, right? How do think tanks work in terms of the government? Like what's first, the chicken or the egg? Does the government create a policy and then the think tank goes and pushes this policy?
Mm-hmm.
Or does the think tank, because some of the neoconservative think tanks, like for George Bush during the lead up to the Iraq War, they wrote a lot about some of the policies that he then adapted. Whereas with the Barack Obama, now it seems like some of his policies are being pushed by pundits and think tanks. So how does it...
That's true. I think that the
what comes
policies
first?
Well, I think in terms of the neoconservative example that you give, the policies came from within the government. The original sort of the text, if you will, for the neoconservative movement was written by Paul Wolfowitz and Scooter Libby in 1992, when they were working in the George H.W. Bush administration. And that was the Defense Planning Guidance in 1992, and that sort of set out their agenda for the next 25 years. That came from the government. Now, of course, Bush lost in 1992, and so Wolfowitz then had to leave, and he went to become dean of Johns Hopkins SAIS, right? And so, from that point on, even though he wasn't in the government, he used his position to push these policies, but in the kind of private sector, not within the government, right? But as you say, through op-eds, through interviews, and things of that nature. And so, he had a very big hand in turning what, to my mind, is a very fine international relations school into something of a neoconservative hothouse. And so, under his watch, they brought on neoconservatives like Elliot Cohen, Eric Edelman,